It's big for us. Obviously, you know what he brings on the ice. He's played a long time and had a very successful career. Has great leadership qualities. He's excited to be here, committed to doing whatever is required of him or asked of him to help the team win. So yeah, it's a big addition for our group. Obviously, boosts our back end and gives us additional depth and options. So yeah, a lot of things to like about that addition, and of course Blackwell as well. That's one that I think is an important addition for us too. He's a versatile guy that plays with incredible energy. Um, over last season, this season, he scored at about a 20-goal pace as well. So there's some offensive potential there for him too. So he's a guy that we really like. I've liked him a lot since coaching against him in the American League when he was in Rochester, and I think he's done a good job of establishing himself as an NHLer. And he's another guy that is excited to be here, and I think will bring a lot to our group.
Where do you see, how do you plan to use Jordan? What do you think, Coach Sheldon?
Well, we'll see. I think we're going to likely try different things. With Muzzin still being out at this point in time, obviously that changes the dynamic of our defense. So we'll bring Gio in and try some different things. I would imagine how we start probably won't be what we'll go with all the way through, because I think it's important that we do try different things. But obviously he's a guy that can contribute to the game in so many ways. At 5-on-5, power play, penalty kill, he'll get opportunities, in all situations there.
And what's the status then of Sandy and that speaking of the defense?
Yeah, Sandy, he hurt his knee the other night a little bit, so they're continuing to assess him on that to get a better feel for exactly what the situation is. So I guess we'll have more time when he has an opportunity to get more assessment done on that.
And Kasha, is there any update on him?
The only real update is that he's doing really well, and he's feeling good. And in fact, it was I think he himself was trying to push to get back in the game the other night. So he's feeling good, really positive that way. Obviously, the medical team is being cautious at this stage, making sure that that all is good, especially for Ange and his situation, how what he's been through as it relates to these type of injuries. But everything to this point has been very positive. So I think they'll just continue to assess him and take it from there.
How close is Jake? What do you think he's looked like in practice, and is there any more clarity on him?
Yeah, he looks good to me in practice. Obviously, they still have him in a red jersey, so he's got some things to go through, and some of the tests and things that they do for players coming off of concussions before they get cleared for full contact in games, and he hasn't gotten to that point yet. I think that's getting close, from what I'm told, and then they'll just continue to ramp him up in terms of his workload and get him ready to get back in games.
How about Jack?
Jack skated again today. I didn't get a report on how that went, but I know that he did skate. I guess it would have been Saturday. That's his second skate, and he felt better than he did the first day. So that's positive, and I would expect it will continue to progress.
You and Travis go back a long way. How tough is it to part with him?
Yeah, it's tough. I talked to Derms last night, and he has been in this organization a long time, and all the way back to the Marley days, and he's a part of our Calder Cup team and developed to be an NHL player. He's a guy that worked hard to develop his game, and then he was in a situation here this season, that the emergence of Sandy and Liljegren, I think, made it tough for Derms, and the opportunities that he was given this season and seasons previous that didn't see the progression to jump into, say, some of those top four spots. And then when you got those young guys coming, it makes it hard. So he's in a situation where I think everybody just felt that a fresh start would be good for him. Derms is a good guy, and he's worked really hard here. He loved being a Leaf, and to get him that opportunity, I think, was important. Like I said, the emergence of our young defensemen, and then you add in Labushkin and now Giordano, he would have been in a tough spot. So I think he's going to get a good opportunity there in Vancouver, and we wish him very well.
Giordano and Colin haven't arrived yet, but just the guys we talked to today, they seem pretty excited. What's your sense of how moves like this, the message maybe coming from college, means to the group and the energy?
Well, first of all, the players know that Kyle believes in this team, but they also know that Kyle has a job to do to try to make the team as good as possible and make the additions that he deems necessary. So for him to execute a trade of this magnitude and bring in, a veteran player like Giordano in particular, sends a message that he's serious and he believes in the group and he's doing what he needs to do to be able to, keep pace with the teams in our division. We're in a very competitive division, and each of those teams have gotten better here. So we're keeping pace with that, but at the same time recognizing that additional depth on defense was an area of need. And we've done that. And then, like I said, we've also supplemented our forward depth with a very versatile player in Blackwell. And so, I think as a coaching staff, we're definitely excited. And talking with some of the players, they are as well.
What's the message to Mrazek? I mean, signs a 3-year deal. I don't think he imagined being on waivers.
Yeah, Kyle has dealt with Peter on that. That's not really a coaching type of thing. That's a management decision. Management obviously is a part of those conversations when it comes time to sign such a deal. And a decision such as yesterday, Kyle handled that. In terms of today, when talking with Steve Briere and dealing with Peter, just to get his work in, see what happens here today, and go from there. Obviously, our hope is that that if Peter remains here, he's just going to continue to work hard, look to seek to find his game, and it hasn't been good enough. I think Peter recognizes that. We recognize that. Process will play itself out here shortly, and we'll take it from there. Not a lot, other than his recent history here. A lot of success in the KHL and part of the Olympic gold medal team. Steve Briere's our goalie coach is more familiar with him, having reviewed a lot of video on him when he was younger, but not a lot other than that. I think it's just an attempt to add to the depth of our goaltending, and again, we'll see how that process plays itself out.
Sheldon, if you, I would imagine if you have Mark and Colin here for practice tomorrow, they play Wednesday against Jersey.
Yeah, that's the intention. In talking with them yesterday, I believe that will be fine with them. So as long as their travel goes smoothly today and they get in time to practice tomorrow and get all the rust off and the bugs out and deal with you folks, then they'll be ready to go on Wednesday.
Jason Stetson made the point that you haven't had many practice days like this, coming off day off, no game till Wednesday. What did you make of the competitive level you've got, especially in that drill there at the end with Wayne and Michael, the Battle of Scarborough kind of raising the stakes?
Yeah, that's how they do it in Scarborough. That was great. Obviously, like you said, we don't get these opportunities a whole lot throughout the course of a season. Probably not going to have much of it the rest of the way. I do think it's important to build on, I should say maintain first of all, but build on when you can the level of competitiveness of your team. And when you're playing regularly, that's easier because you're just playing games all the time. But when you have a gap like this in our schedule, it's important to manufacture it in practices. So having some of those type of games and those type of battles were important today, and it was nice to see the guys taking it serious.
Even Austin's emphatic that wasn't a goal on your last drill there.
He was. He was. There was a rule put in place that was violated on that goal, and he recognized it. So he called me on that, and then good on him because he was correct. And there was, the loser had to do a little skate at the end. So I think that was more is he wanted to make sure that the game was called fairly if that was going to be the case. It turns out they lost anyway.